Hello, grade 9, and welcome to a new lecture. This one will be a semester 1 revision lecture. We will go over all the materials that you took and that will be required for your first semester examination. So this is an overview. Themes required. Chapter 1, Human Behavior and Self-Confidence. It's in your comprehension and writing ebook. Chapter 2, Sports, also comprehension and writing ebook. Now the skills. You have to answer referential, inferential, and critical thinking questions. There will be questions where I will refer you to the paragraph. There will be other questions where you will have to conclude what the author means. There will be parts where you have to complete a certain cause-effect chart, for example, or categorize information in a chart. You will have to paraphrase a given sentence or text in your own words using citation, meaning in the above paragraph or in the above sentence, the author explains that. This is what a citation means. You have to start with this way. In paragraph 3 or in sentence 2 of paragraph 3, the author explains that. This is what we call a citation. You cite the source of the text which you're going to paraphrase. Complete a chart using information in the text. We already talked about that. Figure out the meanings of new and unfamiliar vocab words using context clues. We did a lot of that. Now the writing, 2 types of essays we took: expository essays, advantages and disadvantages, and cause-effect essays with the samples I gave you, of course, and narrative essay. Remember, we wrote 2 narrative essays. Now, the grammar lessons required, the present tenses, all of them: present simple, present progressive, present perfect, and present perfect progressive, while the past tenses, you're going to only have to study the past simple and the past progressive. Now, reading comprehension, chapter 1, Human Behavior and Self-Confidence. Let's go through that quickly. Let's summarize it a bit. We define self-confidence as our ability to believe in ourselves and trust in our own powers. When we have a high self-confidence, we tend to overcome challenges and deal with difficult situations. However, different people have different mindsets, and we already said that a mindset is the way you view things, the way you think about things, or in another word, your attitude. Okay, so what kind of a mindset can a person have? Your mindset or your way of thinking and attitude can be fixed or can be growth. Some people have a mixture of both mindsets, but we aspire, we as teachers, we as adults, we aspire for you, the youth, the teenagers, to have an increasingly growth mindset. What's the difference? In a fixed mindset, you have a negative attitude towards things, towards life and the issues you face. You dislike or you do not like challenges and are afraid of them. We talked about the example of, for example, a math teacher putting a somewhat challenging question on the board and many would just freeze. Others would see it as an opportunity for a challenge. Okay, it's not graded. Let's go for it. Let's try. Let's do our best. Let's work together. Now, if you dislike challenges, as a result, you do not experience personal growth. You do not grow as a person. Your personality does not prosper, does not improve. And this would lead you to lack of self-confidence. This is how self-confidence and mindset are interconnected. The better your mindset is, the more inclined towards a growth mindset is, the more self-confident you are, the more you accept challenges, the more you want to improve. You have, in a growth mindset, you have a positive attitude towards life and the challenges you face, the difficulties you face. You do not freeze at every difficult situation that comes your way. You welcome challenges and you view them as a way to grow. Okay, Maybe if I joined my friends on that trip, I will see new things, I will meet new people, um, I'll learn new things. Maybe if I read that book, I will learn a thing or two about life. Maybe if I began practicing a certain sport, I will improve my way of thinking. I will improve my muscle tone, etc. You aspire towards growth. As a result, your personality grows and you become a more resilient person. And we defined resilient as being tough, a person who is not easily defeated. A strong person is a resilient person. Now, also we learned that people who tend to have a fixed mindset can, with the help of others and by having a will to change, become people with a growth mindset and grow into better versions of themselves. Let's say you have a fixed mindset or a somewhat fixed mindset. That doesn't mean you're doomed and that's it for the rest of your life. You can help yourself, and you can, with the help of others, help yourself to become a person with an increasingly growth mindset. Now, the integrated writing for chapter 1, parts of an essay, and the expository essay. Let's go through those quickly. Now, an essay, as we said, is a group of well-organized paragraphs, all linked to discuss one main idea. And of course, your main idea is the thesis statement. An essay is made of 3 main parts: your introduction, body paragraphs, and the conclusion. In the introduction, you need 3 elements. I told you, if you write anything less than 3 sentences in an introduction, you've missed something. You need a hook, which is an attention catcher. It could be a form of a question, a sound effect, a metaphor, a simile, but it needs to catch attention. It could be a surprising fact or statistic. Now, the background information, a good type of background information would be to define what you're talking about. If you're talking about adolescent issues, define what adolescence is. Define what adolescent issues are, but never put details in the background information. The background information is just setting the scene for your thesis. Here in the thesis, you tell me what the whole essay is going to be about. Where do you get it? From the teacher's question. If I told you to write about 2 advantages of having a growth mindset, the thesis would be, so having a growth mindset could help a person in dealing with difficult situations and experience personal growth. How many are those? 2. What are you going to do in the body paragraphs? Discuss each one of those ideas in one body paragraph. Okay, so in grade 9 we generally have 2 body paragraphs. Please stick to that. For each body paragraph you're going to write a topic sentence. The first idea for growth mindset, people with a growth mindset tend to overcome difficult situations. Full stop. What am I going to do in this paragraph? I'm going to discuss it in details and give examples, supporting details. The second topic sentence for the second body paragraph will be, moreover, please don't forget to use transitional signals. Moreover, people with growth mindsets tend to experience personal growth. You give me examples of people who prospered, who became successful because of their attitude, of their growth attitude, people with a growth mindset. You give examples from real life, from your own experiences. I'm sure you know a lot of people with a growth mindset. You yourself could be a person with a growth mindset. Give me an example about you, how that helped you. And finally, in the conclusion, you restate your thesis in different words, you summarize your essay, and leave us with final thoughts, feelings, opinions, and a call for action. For example, a call for action: people with a fixed mindset should be helped by their parents and other adults in order to achieve more growth and not to lose hope, etc. Think of it as your free space, and as I always tell you, End with a powerful note. End on a powerful note. So, the expository essay. We talked about the different parts of an essay. Now, specifically, the expository essay, what is it? The purpose of an expository essay is to give information and to explain a certain thing. Give information about self-confidence, about the advantages of sports, about the effects of air pollution on people. It's just giving you information. Here, the tone of the author, or the way, the type of words that the author uses are generally objective and neutral. What do we mean by neutral and objective? Just like in biology, neutral means neither acidic nor basic. You're just giving, you're not taking sides. You are not expressing opinions or feelings. You are just giving hard facts. You are giving us facts about self-confidence, facts about how sports help you improve your muscle tone and improve your heart and circulation. So this is what objective means. No feelings, no opinions, etc. You can write the feelings only in the conclusion as a call for action or opinion. Now, the types of expository essay which we will be taking this year, and we took 2 of them: cause effect, advantages, disadvantages, and problem solution. Cause effect, for example, the causes of air pollution, causes and the effects of air pollution or water pollution. Advantages, the advantages of having a growth mindset. Problem solution, you present a certain problem and you provide its solution. And a problem, for example, like water pollution in Lebanon, and you give practical solutions to it. We're going to take such an essay in the coming weeks. An expository writing sample for the theme of human behavior and self-confidence, which we took. The prompt, which is my question to you: self-confidence is an indispensable trait. It means it's essential. You have to have it for any human being to be able to achieve his or her aspirations in life. Aspirations are goals. In a well-organized 150 to 200 word expository essay, explain the above statement by shedding light on 2 ways with which self-confidence could help a person achieve his or her goals in society. So, 2 advantages of having a high self-confidence. Notice here, I began with a hook. Humans are very complex creatures with different personality traits. I gave an interesting fact about humans, that they are complex. They're not simple beings. Their mind, their thinking is very complex. It has many angles to it. And they have different types of personalities. Now, the background information, you feel that each person has their own unique character or special character. Yet there are certain personality traits that are essential for a human to survive and succeed in life and the society he or she lives in. Notice how I am setting the background here in those sentences. Now my thesis. Self-confidence is one such important trait helping a person in different aspects of lives. My thesis, I'm going to talk about how self-confidence helps us in different aspects of our lives. You can even list those aspects in your thesis statement. Okay, self-confidence helps us believe in our own powers and overcome goals and attract a lot of friends and become popular. You can write your thesis statement that way. Now, the first body paragraph, the first way with which self-confidence will help me. First of all, having a high self-confidence means believing in one's powers. When you do that, what happens? You achieve more. When a person with high self-esteem or self-image faces a difficult situation, that person doesn't give up easily. Let's say a student has a huge problem in English. Notice how I support my ideas. I need to give an example. If that student has faith, believes in himself or herself, he or she will do their best to get through the situation. How? They will work hard. ask for help, and do everything possible to overcome this issue. They didn't just freeze there, they did something. This is why people with high self-confidence usually succeed in their lives and manage to achieve goals. Moreover, people with a confident personality tend to attract a lot of friends and are usually highly respected in society. Another way. Self-confidence is important. Most people like to be around a person with high self-confidence. That person is usually fun and knows what he or she wants out of life. We all know that special person in our class who always has a positive mindset and believes in his or her powers. That person can even be ourselves. You might be that popular person who believes in themselves. We notice that with this very important asset of self-confidence, that person carrying this character trait will be among the most popular in class. So having faith in oneself is a necessary personal trait. The ideas mentioned above show how high self-confidence can help a person succeed in his or her life and society. This is the end. We wrapped up, okay, summarized, and we gave final thoughts. The second theme is sports. Why are sports so popular? Why are sports so popular? They're very popular across the world because they are great sources of entertainment, recreation, and joy. Joy is happiness. Think of the hundreds of millions of people who gather to watch a football match by Barcelona or Juventus or Paris Saint-Germain or Manchester United, or watch a basketball game by the Lakers, or an amazing tennis match. So why do we watch sports? Because they are a source of entertainment. They bring us happiness. They bring us joy. And if we are not spectators, we are players, they bring us a lot of benefits, like those. Name 2 physical and 2 mental benefits, and mental benefits and physical benefits of sports to humans. First of all, they boost your health. Boost means improve. Okay, namely your heart and blood circulation. 2, improve muscle tone. Obviously, those 2 are physical benefits. And the mental benefits, it relieves stress. You feel more relaxed after you practice sports, and it increases your concentration. Now, for example, when you put those ideas on an essay, as we did, when you say that it relieves stress, give me an example. Okay, people who practice sports before going to work feel less stressed out during the day, feel more positive and more confident about their work. They don't get tired easily. Increases concentration. Students who do a few minutes of sports before school or during school hours would tend to have more concentration for the rest of the day. Give me examples, okay? Give me examples of how sports help you become a more muscular person, or improve your muscles in general and improve your heart and health. Now, we talked about the physical and mental benefits of sports. Let's go to the important human values. Values are rules that we live by in society. Okay, like the value of cooperation, of sticking together, the value of friendship, the value of determination, etc. They are rules that if they're not found in society, society will disintegrate. It will just explode from within. We have to live by values. So what kind of human values, what kind of rules does sports teach us? Practicing sports individually means as one person, like in tennis or running, boosts or improves a person's self-confidence and awakens in him or her a sense of determination. If you are a person who runs long distances, you have more confidence in yourself. And the more you run, the longer distances you run, the more determined you feel, the more willpower you will have. Those are important values. Okay, practicing sports as a team encourages teamwork. Those are important human values, working together to achieve a goal. Not everyone on their own fighting with each other. If a team needs to score a goal, can every player play on their own and be selfish? No, they will lose. They will need to pass the ball together, work as a team, cooperate in order to bring or to score a goal. Sports also teaches good sportsmanship. It's very nice and very important to win, but we have to also accept loss. This is what good sportsmanship means. If you lose, you don't hit your opponent. You don't start calling him or her names. You have to accept it, you have to shake hands, and you learn the lesson. You lost this time, just like what happened with Marwan in our worksheet. Okay, he lost, but he went back to the track. He trained, and became a winner again. So, self-confidence, determination, teamwork, cooperation, sportsmanship, and finally, think of a time when your country was playing another country in basketball maybe, or in football. What value does that teach us? What does it do to people? It brings them unity, a sense of unity, bringing them together as a people. We are all rooting for our national team. We are all cheering our national team, and we are all in solidarity for our national team. Again, bringing people together, unifying a certain nationality together. So, important values in sports. Now, the expository writing sample for the theme of sports. I asked about professional sports, benefits, and drawbacks. Remember, we said that a professional sports person is a person who gets paid money to play. Okay, like the important players, you know, like Neymar, like Ronaldo, they get paid a lot of money. Therefore, because they are professional. Okay, you play for money, you are professional. Now, I want you to tell me about 2 benefits and 2 drawbacks. When I say drawbacks, I mean disadvantages. I don't want to always use advantages, disadvantages. We need to use different words. We need to use synonyms. You guys are in grade 9. You need to improve your vocabulary. I start with a hook. Sports serve society by providing vivid examples of excellence. A quote. This quote asserts how sports serve as an example on ways to excel in something, opening endless horizons of fame and fortune for athletes. However, professional sports, which are sports practiced for money and not only as a hobby, have their disadvantages on a society in general and on the fans and athletes specifically. As such, even though professional sports have many benefits, they also have several drawbacks, advantages, and disadvantages. The first one is obviously going to be about the advantages of sports. What's the first advantages of what are the first advantages of being a professional athlete like Messi? To begin with, professional sports have numerous blessings, such as helping the athlete achieve wealth and luxury and enjoy fame. Fame is the noun for famous. Wealth and luxury means you have a lot of money, you live a comfortable life, you buy the car of your dreams, the house of your dreams. Those are 2 advantages. Now explain them. Remember, the topic sentence, you write the whole thing and put a full stop. Don't put a comma. This is what I'm going to discuss in this paragraph. Full stop, okay? You write what you're going to discuss and you write full stop. Now, being a professional sports person is very profitable because winning major games earns the victor lots of money. In addition, the salaries of such players are sometimes exponential. Exponential, as you know in math, it's something that is multiplied and multiplied, billions and millions. To illustrate, means to give an example, the weekly salaries of professional athletes such as Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo are estimated at $646,000 and $663,000 respectively. Respectively means first Messi, then Ronaldo, as I wrote them here. Commercials also play a big role in making famous players gain more money. Major companies such as Pepsi and Adidas search for famous players to promote their products, and the payments may reach millions of dollars. In addition to that, talented athletes such as the ones mentioned above will get the chance to carve their names in history. You will be well known forever and ever, and will always be remembered for their legendary performances. On the other hand, professional sports have their disadvantages, which are portrayed by the lack of privacy for the athlete and displays of violence in the field. So there's lack of privacy, two disadvantages: no privacy, that famous player will be followed everywhere, and there's a lot of violence in field and outside of the field. To illustrate, passionate fans and media will always follow the most private details of a famous athlete's life. This person would not be able to enjoy a simple family or friend gathering without being closely scrutinized by the media and fans. When someone scrutinizes you, they look into the very small details of your life, of every detail. Furthermore, the drive to win in a professional game might cause some athletes to behave violently in some games, purposely, on purpose, injuring members of the opposing team just to gain an advantage. So this is bad. This is not good sportsmanship. You injure the others so that you can win. We have frequently seen how soccer forwards were dangerously fouled by defenders without regard to the value of fair play. Fair play is good sportsmanship. You're not playing fair if you tackle a famous forward player like Messi. If you tackle him violently just to make him injured, that's not fair. And the physical harm their behavior might cause. Some injuries have ended careers of some very famous athletes. As a conclusion, now I need to restate my thesis and leave the reader with the final thought. As a conclusion, we see that although professional sports bring much joy and entertainment to millions of fans, in addition to fame and fortune to the professional athlete, they do have a dark side, disadvantage. The urge, this drive to win at any cost has unfortunately made sports diverge. Diverge means to move away from its real purpose, which is bringing people together and spreading tolerance and delight everywhere. So this is your essay. Now, in narrative writing, what is narrative writing? Narrative writing is your other genre of writing. Basically, the word narrative means storytelling. A narrative is a story. There are certain characteristics for narrative writing. What are they? Like any essay in the world, it has three parts: the introduction, use a different color, the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. But what goes in an introduction of a narrative essay? Like any essay, it needs a hook. You need to grab your reader's attention from the very beginning. But you need to write the setting, meaning the time and place of the story, the main characters, include them into the introduction, introduce them into the introduction, and the last sentence of your narrative essay is the main idea of the story. What's the main idea? Let's say I asked you to talk about the person who overcame a sports injury. The last sentence, or your main idea or your thesis, would be Last year, Marwan went through a very dangerous injury while he was playing for his school soccer team. Full stop. From this, I would know that this story is going to discuss Marwan's injury and what happened to him later on. Okay? Now, in the body of a narrative essay, we call it a plot. A plot is the sequence, simply the sequence of events in chronological order, in the order with which they happened. What happened first, what happened later on, then, etc. Remember to use transitional signals. Okay. Last year, John was training at a camp. After that, he decided to move to a new town. Later on, notice the transition. Later on, after that, last year, use transitional signals related to time. Why do we use transitional signals? If we don't use them, our essay will feel quite boring and will not be coherent or connected. Transitional signals are used to connect your ideas together. Thus, if you do not use them, your ideas will feel loose and your essay will become boring and unreadable. Now, when you write your plot or your sequence of events, what happened, you start with the problem, you explain it, the rising action, how things happen, the climax. The climax is the last part before the solution. How was it solved? And then in the conclusion, you write your feelings, your final thoughts, and generally in such an essays, what did you learn or what did that person in the story learn? The moral lesson. Okay? So, what makes a story good to read? You need to include, of course, setting, characters, etc. But when you are telling your story, you need to include sensory details. The sound. I heard a strange noise as I was sleeping in my room. It felt very creepy. Or maybe when you were tasting something, the taste of the water that night was weird. The smell of metal, like the writing sample I gave you. Remember when the author went into the room, the narrator, and she smelled metal, a metallic smell, which later on we learned that it was blood. Sight. What did you see? Give us vivid details. Vivid means clear. Make the reader interested. Make the reader feel as if he or she is in that story. And use figures of speech. Okay? Figures of speech like similes and metaphors. Okay, my skin crawled as if a snake was nearby. As, okay, use as or like metaphors. Okay, personification, giving personal qualities to non-personal to non-human things, like my desk was screaming from the weight of my books. Of course, desks cannot scream, but when we say they scream, we're giving them personal or person qualities, we're personifying them. Use those. The above elements will make your story more attractive and appealing to the reader. Now, I chose to give you to study for the test a sample narrative essay which includes all those three themes: sports, self-confidence, and overcoming a challenge. You know, you pass through a challenge, yet you overcome it. You win at the end. So let's read it together. Overcoming an injury. The title, by the way, guys, is very important. When I read the title, it should be a mini summary or a condensed summary of what your whole essay is going to be about. Okay, overcoming an injury, obviously, this whole story will be about a person who overcame an injury. Many people are very passionate about sports. Interesting fact. They love it to the point where it becomes an essential part of their lives. One such person is my friend Tamer, who is the striker in our school's football team. Striker is the forward, the person who strikes goals. Now, my main idea, yet last year, Tamer went through a very severe, tough injury after a defender from another school team tackled him violently and broke his right leg. What am I going to talk about here? Tamer's injury and how he overcame it. It was the saddest day of Tamer's life. He was in so much pain. After the incident, he was immediately taken to the hospital where the doctor performed a surgery on his leg. Surgery, there's an operation here. After what seemed like endless hours of waiting, the doctor came out of the operating room and told us and Tamer's parents that Tamer might not be able to play football for at least 2 months. Tamer was devastated. He felt destroyed when he recovered from the surgery and heard the horrible news. Football was his life. See, what am I including here? Feelings, horrible news, devastated, include those. And notice the exclamation mark to show the feeling. Moreover, the coach and his teammates were in shock feelings, since Tamer was their main striker and they had no chance to win the school's championship this year. Tamer is out for the time being. If he doesn't participate, they will lose the school championship. The championship among schools. They had qualified to the finals due to Tamer's exceptional skills. Exceptional here means excellent. But he cannot play the final so far. The next day, Tamer left the hospital, feeling sad and depressed. As his friends, we all gave him the possible support. So in the story, he got the support of his friends. I, along with 2 other friends, went with him to the physical therapy sessions. So when they removed the cast, he had to go through physical therapy. They teach him how to walk and run again. That's physical therapy, especially after a severe injury. So his friends went with him when they removed the cast. The cast is what they put on your arm or leg when you break it. When he removed it, he needed those sessions. We cheered him on. Again, feelings. Okay, come on, you can do it. You can do it. We believe in you. They were giving him confidence. Day by day, Tamer began to regain his strength. Notice the transitions. Day by day, connect your ideas. And self-confidence. He once told me, I will recover in less than 3 months. There was such great determination in his words. He believed in himself. Notice where self-confidence comes in here. And that's exactly what happened. The doctor was amazed at Tamer's quick recovery. He recovered means he became well. After a short while, again transitional signal, he was able to return to the football practice sessions at school. The school championship final was due a month later. Notice chronological order. So he had to do his best without hurting his legs again. It was a real challenge. Everyone was praying that he would be in shape before that time. The day of the school's championship finals in Beirut arrived at last. All of us went to support our team who played against the finalist from another school. Everyone's eyes were fixed at Tamer. Will he be able to play the whole match? Will he score? At the beginning of the match, Tamer seemed very hesitant, didn't know what to do. He couldn't get a grip of the ball or shoot well. Yet as the minutes passed by and as he heard us encouraging him and cheering him, he started to gather his stamina, strength, and scored the only goal 2 minutes before the end of the game. We screamed with delight, happiness. Our striker was back and he won us the school's championship trophy. So this championship was among schools in Lebanon. This incident with Tamer taught me a valuable lesson. See? Feelings, lessons learned. No matter how hard things may seem at first, a person can overcome any difficulty or challenge through determination and hard work. Now, you have this essay, but whenever I ask you for a narrative essay or you're asked for this on an official exam, you have to fill in what you see in front of you, what we call a story elements chart. The title, the main characters, and the main characters only. You don't need to include everyone. Setting, time, place. Sometimes I will ask you for the mood or atmosphere, depending on the theme. If it's about supernatural events, I will probably ask you about the mood or the atmosphere. The mood or the atmosphere means how did it feel in the story? Was it cringy? Was it bloody? Was it scary? That sort of thing. And it's usually an adjective. The problem in one sentence. Main events, please remember here, write in phrases and phrases only. Do not write complete sentences. That would be wrong. Ending and resolution, how did this problem end? And the lesson learned. Let me show you. I filled in this chart for Tamer's story. Let's see. Title, overcoming an injury. Main characters, Tamer, the narrator, Tamer's friends. You can just stick to this, that would be okay. Setting, last year, soccer field, training center. How did it feel? Suspenseful. There was a lot of suspense. Come on, you can do it, okay? Suspenseful because we didn't know whether or not he will be able to overcome his injury, whether or not he will score that goal, whether or not his team will win. Okay, there was a lot of suspense in the story. The problem, you can write this part in a full sentence. Tamer, the main striker of his school's soccer team, broke his leg ahead of a very important match, meaning before a very important match. Main events in 3 or 4 points. You can put 4 instead of 3, but I stuck to 3, it was enough. Tamer broke his leg before important match for his school, felt devastated. Notice, phrases, not complete sentences, just quick ideas. Went to physical therapy. Phrase, supported by friends, had strong willpower, needed to be in shape before his final match with school team. Ending resolution, managed to play very well in the final and even scored the winning goal. Lesson learned, through determination and hard work, we can overcome any challenge. The lesson learned, please write this in a complete sentence. Lesson learned and problem, please write them in complete sentences. The rest of them you have to write in phrases, okay? So this is it for our revision. This is pretty much what will be on the test. The details, of course, we will discuss that in class. I will give you the grammar one by one because I felt that needed a whole lesson on its own. We will discuss that thoroughly in class. Anyway, take care and I wish you the best of luck. Bye bye.